All right, everyone, welcome. I am back to once again give you a little preview of what is going to come tomorrow in our Facebook Live Express Entry Q&A with myself, Mark Holthe, yours truly. I am super excited to have you join me. I know that the time isn't perfect for everyone, but the reality is I haven't had a lot of people offer alternative times. Those of you who are in continental Asia, I know it's really early in the morning, I think, for you. 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time isn't quite ideal for me either. I'm willing to shake things up, but you guys are going to have to reach out to me and let me know in the comments section below here what time would be your ideal time for doing these Express Entry live Q&As. All right, a couple things that I want you to understand. I welcome your questions. Please send any questions that you would like to be considered. And remember, try to keep them general in nature, because I'm not going to be able to answer your specific questions within the context of this live Q&A. So keep your questions of a general nature, and then the ones that I feel are most beneficial to everybody in this Express Entry group, I will use those as the questions that I will answer within the Q&A. Okay, so as far as these questions go, I've put up here in the top, you'll see this is the email address that you're going to address your questions to. You must put in your subject line this, EE Live Q&A, and that will tell me that you've been listening to this video and that your question is meant to be considered for the upcoming Q&A session. So please do that. If it doesn't do that, then here's what happens. Because I have so many inquiries coming in right now, I often, if they do not have this, I will forward them to my assistant, Charlene, and she will then reach out to you to see if you want to set up an immigration consultation, especially the questions that are very specific in nature. So don't be offended if I don't answer your own personal question for free, because it is absolutely not possible for me to do that. That's the reason I'm doing these live Q&A sessions, so that I can answer as many questions as possible and benefit the most number of people all at the same time. Now, a couple other things I want to address with you. In the Q&A, at the beginning, I'm going to have a little teaching moment. And that teaching moment is going to cover the upcoming changes that are going to be occurring with Express Entry in June, so that those of you out there who may not necessarily have enough points right now will be able to go into the Express Entry system, enter your profile, and know that if you don't have enough now, you could very well get enough in June to put you over the edge. And trust me, when the difference between being given an ITA and not being given an ITA is just a fraction of a point, these additional points that you're going to get with these changes that are coming in June are going to be fantastic for many of you. I also want to let you know that we're going to be talking about another difficult issue. And I see this, and I've seen this within the comments and the questions that are asked on our Facebook page. Some people are wondering if they should leave their wives behind or their husbands behind. And the reason they're asking that is because, as you're aware, 40 points, 40 comprehensive ranking system points are given to your spouse when you are applying as a principal applicant. If you're single, you get all of those points yourself. And those 40 points are allocated towards the human capital factors of your spouse. So if your spouse does not have high English scores, if they do not have Canadian work experience and things like that, then they're going to lose points, and you will lose out, because it could amount to as many as 40 less points than you would otherwise get. So some people are asking, okay, well, if that's the case, then should I leave my wife behind or my husband? Should I just apply as an individual? And I'm going to address this in the question and answer, Facebook Live question and answer tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And in addition, I'm going to be answering a whole bunch of other questions. Now, I shouldn't say a whole bunch. I have received a ton. I can't believe how many questions I've received. Thank you so much for sending them in, because I have so much material to go through, so many questions that I want to share answers for you to demystify this express entry process. So thanks for sending them in. The problem is I can't get to all of them. So please forgive me if I'm not able to get to yours. So upcoming changes to express entry and the whole spousal dilemma within express entry. Do you include them or do you not? And what are the consequences and the ramifications of doing that? Also, I wanted to just address contacting me. So obviously, when I put my email address up here, this one right here, I get everyone sending me emails, and lots of people are sending me just general inquiries, hoping that I will be able to give them free advice. Well, unfortunately, I can't do that. I just do not have enough time to do that. One-on-one is just not as effective for me, because obviously I'm an immigration lawyer, and those are the things that people pay me to answer them. But I've created the Facebook page so that I can answer, so that everybody can get the benefit of it. So that's why I created it, to amplify the message that I have. So if you send me a direct email, more than likely what will happen is I will direct it to my assistant Charlene, and she'll send you out a request to see if you want to set up a consult. So that's why that's happening. So please understand. Unless if you want to submit a question for consideration on the Express Entry Live Q&A, you're going to put this right here in your subject line of your email. Okay? All right. Couple other things. In order to better help people that are trying to set up consults with me, because it takes me a long time to sort through emails and to try and sort through which ones are people requesting consultations, which ones are my existing clients, and which ones are sending in questions for the Express Entry Live Q&A, it's become almost impossible to navigate it. My whole day is spent sifting through it. And then I don't even have time to get on the Facebook page to try to answer questions there. So the wonderful people at my firm have created a special landing page, and I'm just going to stick this up here, a special landing page where you can go to submit your request for a consultation. And so that's where I want to direct you to. And I will put underneath here in the comment section, if you can see me here, it will be down here below the video in the comments. I will put the URL or the address that I will want you to click on so that you can send a request for a consultation to me. Now, the best part of that link is that you're going to see my awful picture that was taken just before the start of March. And I must admit, and I think I've talked about this a little bit on previous videos, but it was so awful I look like a fat walrus. And some of you who are wondering what walrus is, if you're just learning English, you can Google that. WALRUS. I felt like a fat walrus. I was so overweight. So I've been frantically trying to lose weight so that I'm not so embarrassed. But the reality is, when you click on that link, you're going to see a big fat picture of me, and it is going to be hilarious. So just bypass that. Go to that landing page, submit your contact information, and then we'll love to set up a consult with you, and we can have a one-on-one, just me and you. All right, I'm going to get rid of this now, drop this off, and I see there are a few people now that are actually checking this out live. We've got Sylvester here and Manjot. It's great to have you with us. And as we find a time that works better for other people, it's going to be even better for interaction and live interaction per se. So bear with me as we try to find the right time. The last thing that I wanted to indicate, and I'm going to keep doing this forever and ever and ever, so you guys are just going to have to bear with me because this is something, I guess, for me. And it is this. It is my Express Entry course that I created. And this course, I spent hundreds of hours doing it. It is the complete step-by-step guide to Express Entry. And some of you may say, well, we don't need to buy that. We can just get all the free resources and everything online. And you know what? You can spend hundreds of hours yourself sorting it out. Or you can actually register for this. It's a small nominal fee per month. You can stay in for 1 month. You can stay in for 2, as long as you want. But I've literally poured all of my information, all of my knowledge, everything that I know about Express Entry, I've put it into here. And I've gone through step by step explaining to you exactly how to do it. In other words, I log in myself. I answered the questions myself. I give you practical examples. I explain the pitfalls within every aspect of Express Entry. And there was a time when I really didn't want to push it. I didn't want to seem like one of those lawyers who's pushing it. But the reality is, I cannot answer all the questions on Facebook. And even for someone who's trying to sort through all of those numerous questions, it's impossible. So I created this Express Entry Do-It-Yourself guide to help people. I know it will. It will walk you through the whole process, everything from setting up your MyCIC account to getting your invitation to apply, to maximizing your comprehensive ranking system points, even after you get your ITA, common pitfalls, the problem areas when you're submitting your electronic application for permanent residence. So all of this is in here, and I would not plug it if it wasn't awesome. I think it is just a phenomenal product, and I know it will help you. It'll save you time, and I can tell you when you're going through it, you will absolutely whip through your profile knowing that you've got it right. But for those of you who don't want to do that, that's totally fine. This is just for people who would like just a little extra help. So, anyways, so that's pretty much the lead-in for the video here. I've covered a little bit more time than I need to. Today was a super rainy day today in Lethbridge. I rode my bike this morning and I was drenched by the time I got to work. And the crazy thing is, I was riding into the wind. It never blows towards the west. I was riding to the office and I had this crazy wind that was just fighting me all the way up, and I've got a couple steep climbs to get to the office. But anyways, I have to hop on my bike and head home, and I am a Boy Scouts of Canada scout leader, and I've got an activity at 7 p.m. myself. So I've got to wrap this up, but I appreciate all of you who are just supporting what I'm trying to do. You know, whether you buy this course or not, it doesn't matter. I don't care. The reality is your contributions, your collegiality, just the way you support each other. I had a little bit of a discussion. I guess there were some comments today that were somewhat disparaging of some other members of our group that weren't able to speak English well enough. Their written English wasn't very good, and others who were kind of poking fun at people who were asking some of the generic silly questions. And you know, I that's something that I really don't want to be a part of our group. I want nothing but positive vibes. This is so exciting, watching people come and have their dreams of immigrating to Canada be realized. And so I don't want anyone that's, you know, no Debbie Downers or people who are critical of others. You know, some people are going to know more about it. Some people are going to know where to look. So please try not to be too judgmental of people that are asking questions that may be very simple. And do what you can to help them. That's what it's there for. And those of you who have advanced knowledge, then share it. Don't hoard it. Share it. Anyways, I think I've said enough for today. Thanks so much for tuning in. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, we're going to dive into it, and this live Q&A may evolve into a live training session every week. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But this is fun. I love doing it. Thanks for following, and I will see all of you tomorrow, Thursday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, unless you guys start telling me differently. And remember, this is always going to be recorded so that you can watch it later. All right, take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day.